Hi friends, welcome back to Edupedia World. Today we'll start a new segment on electromagnetism and we will discuss what is known as the Lorentz force. What the concept basically is that if a current carrying wire is placed in a magnetic field, then it will experience certain force. We'll see that in details. Next, we'll see Fleming's left hand rule. This Fleming's left hand rule is a simple rule which will help you determine what will be the direction of the Lorentz force in presence of a magnetic field on a current carrying wire. So let's start our discussion with Lorentz force. Let us discuss about the force on a current carrying conductor. Lorentz, a scientist, he found out that when a charge is moving in a magnetic field in a direction other than the magnetic field, then it experiences a force. So basically, if a charged particle is moving, let's say we have a magnetic field in this direction represented by B, and a charge is moving in this direction, then due to this magnetic field the charge will experience a force. This force is known as the Lorentz force by the name of the scientist. Now since current is a continuous flow of charge, so we can think of a force experienced by a wire carrying current similar to the force experienced by a charged particle, isn't it? So if we have a wire carrying current I in a magnetic field, the only point to note is that the direction of magnetic field and the direction of current flow should not be the same. In that case, the wire will have a force acting on it. Now, in order to determine what is the force acting on the wire and in which direction is the force acting on the wire, we can think of a simple setup. The setup will be something like this. It should be a free hanging setup in which we have battery attached over here such that current flows, and we provide a magnetic field by using maybe some shoe magnet or something, such that the direction of magnetic field is in this direction, current is flowing in this direction I, so current is in this direction. Then the direction of force which will be experienced by the wire will be pointing outwards towards this direction, that is in this direction. So if this is x-axis, this is y-axis, then the force experienced will be in the z direction. Okay. Now if there is no current flowing, then even in the presence of the magnetic field, the wire will not experience any force. If the current is flowing in positive x direction and the magnetic field being in this direction, then the force is experienced in the z direction. He also found out that if the polarity of the magnet is reversed such that the direction of magnetic field is reversed, let's say this is my current flowing, now the magnetic field is in the opposite direction by reversing the polarity of the magnet, then the force will be reversed in direction, that is now the force will be in the negative z direction inside, right? Also the other two cases would be like this. Suppose we have the magnetic field the same as this case, but the direction of current is in this direction I, then the force experienced will be inside. This will be the force because the direction of current has changed. And finally the final combination would be the current is in this direction I, the magnetic field is in the downward direction B, then the force experienced will be outward F. Okay, so these are the combinations possible for the direction of current, magnetic field and the resultant force. Now the force will be higher for higher current and the force will be higher for higher magnetic field. Okay, so what we can say is that the force is proportional to the magnetic field and the force is also proportional to the current flowing. Okay, and a third thing is, suppose we have a magnet traversing the whole length so that the magnetic field is throughout the length of the wire. Compare that to a different case where it traverses only half of the wire. Then obviously in the second case the force experienced will be less than in the first case. Therefore the force experienced by the wire will be proportional to the length of the wire in the magnetic field. This L is not the total length, rather it is the length which experiences the magnetic field B. By combining these three things, we can say that the force is proportional to BIL. And using a proportionality of constant K, I can equate force as K times BIL, and we define the unit K in such a way that for SI units of B, I and L, the force turns out to be 1 unit for a unit K. So the constant is taken as 1 such that for unit B, I and L the force experienced is unit. This gives me force is equal to BIL. So the total force experienced by the wire in which a current of magnitude I is flowing will be equal to BIL, given B is perpendicular to the direction of current flowing. Okay, and the resultant force will be perpendicular to both the magnetic field and the direction of current. Fine. This gives us the mathematical approach for the Lorentz force. This is my Lorentz force. Now just imagine a scenario in which you have a current flowing in this direction, but we have a magnetic field also in the same direction. In such a case, the Lorentz force will turn out to be 0. Why so? Because for the Lorentz force to act, there has to be an angle between the direction of current flow and the magnetic field. Therefore, if both are parallel, 0 force will be experienced. And we need to note that this formula F is equal to BIL is valid only when the magnetic field and the direction of current are perpendicular to each other. Okay, with this background, now you know what will be the direction of force relative to the direction of magnetic field and current. Also, we have found out what is the formula for finding the Lorentz force. Now let us see what is the unit of magnetic field. Okay, we know that the unit of current is ampere, the unit of length is meter, the unit of force is Newton. So from this relation F is equal to BIL, what we can write is B is equal to F upon IL, right? Now unit of F is Newton, unit of current is ampere, of length is meter. So the unit of magnetic field is Newton per ampere per meter. Okay, this is alternatively known as Tesla or Weber per square meter. Fine. So these are the units of magnetic field, Tesla or Weber per meter square, or in SI units Newton per ampere per meter. Let us discuss the rule by which we can find the direction of the force, of the Lorentz force, if we know the direction of the magnetic field and the current. So the rule is known as the Fleming's left hand rule, and what it says is that if you spread your left hand in such a way that the forefinger points in the direction of the magnetic field, this is the forefinger pointing in the direction of magnetic field, and the middle finger pointing in the direction of the current, then the thumb will be pointing towards the direction of the force. Okay, we can see this happening in our 4 cases. Let's take each case one by one. So if this is my forefinger and if this is my middle finger, then obviously the thumb will point in this direction. Okay, in this case, if this is my forefinger, that is this is this, and if this current is this direction, then if you place your hand in the right way, then you will find that the thumb will point into the paper, into the screen. Similarly, the other 2 cases, if the current, the middle finger is in this direction and the forefinger, that is the magnetic field, is in this direction, then again the thumb will point inside. And in this case, if the forefinger is pointing downwards, the middle finger pointing towards the left, then the thumb will be pointing outwards. So the direction of the force will be outward. Okay, so using this Fleming's left hand rule, we can decide what is the direction of the force that will be experienced by the current carrying conductor. Okay, now with this concept, the concept that we studied today, the Lorentz force, which is produced due to a current carrying wire in the presence of magnetic field, this simple concept will be used to make something which is known as a simple DC motor. So we will study the construction and the working of a simple DC motor in the next lecture. Till the next lecture, have a great day. Goodbye.